Welcome to the first video of 2.1. Today we're going to start talking about number lines and coordinate grids. Here are our learning objectives. Make sure you pause the video and get these written down before moving on. Here's our introductory problem. Make sure to pause the video and read through this. Make sure you know what it's asking for before moving on. We've talked a little bit about absolute value in the past, so this is just a refresher. The absolute value of a number is its distance from 0 to the number line. We use symbols to represent the absolute value of a number. For example, we would write the absolute value of 3 as 3 with those absolute value bars on each side. Writing an absolute value is very simple. You just leave off the positive or the negative sign and simply count the number of units that an integer is from 0. Okay? So basically, when you're writing it, you just write it as a positive. So absolute value of 4 is 4. Absolute value of negative 5 is 5, and so basically just write it as a positive number. So first thing we're going to do, find the absolute value of 3. Okay, we've done that. Absolute value of 3, and we get an answer of 3. Then the question is, what other integer could we put inside of absolute value and get out a 3 as an answer? So since we're looking for an answer of 3, and all absolute value does is make things positive, if we took the absolute value of negative 3, we would get 3. So this is the other integer that we're looking for. A negative 3 will also give us an answer of 3. So basically, that example showed that the positive integer, which was 3, and its opposite, or negative 3, have the same absolute value. So on a number line, opposites are found on opposite sides of 0. Okay, and they are each the same distance from 0 on the number line. Okay, so because of this, any integer and its opposite will always have the same absolute value. To find the opposite of an integer, just change the sign. And so in here, we've got every integer except 0 is either negative or positive, but 0 is neither. Okay, so 0 is not considered positive or negative. Just like we can find the absolute value of a number, we can also find the opposite of a number. And all we have to do is change the sign. So if we're finding the opposite of these two numbers, okay, if I've got negative 16, the opposite of that is just positive 16. So I change the sign from negative to positive. If I've got the number 900, it's a positive 900, so the opposite of that would be a negative 900. Go ahead and answer these 3 questions. Pause the video, get these done, and then hit play and see how you did. You should have gotten that the absolute value of 22 stays 22. The absolute value of negative 222 is a positive 222. And the opposite of negative 18, since it's negative, you would make it a positive 18. Comparing and ordering integers on a number line. Now, we've worked a little bit with this in the past with fractions and other things, decimals, but those were a lot closer together. So now we're going to spread it out a little bit more. So now that we know about absolute value, opposites, zeros, integers, stuff like that, we can work on learning how to compare and order the integers. Often the easiest way to do this is by using a number line. So remember, a number line shows numbers ordered from least to greatest. So if you have a number line here, the smallest numbers or our least numbers are on this side. The bigger numbers or our greatest numbers are on the right. So this can be a little tricky because when you look at a number line at negative 222, you think, man, 222, that is a big number. But what you have to remember is this negative here actually makes it very, very small. So negative 222 would probably be farther left on the number line than you would think. Okay, so we're going to order these numbers on the number line, and then we're going to figure out which one's the greatest and which one's the least. And again, greatest is the one that's farthest to the right. The least is the one that's farthest to the left. Okay, so when we go to do this, I've got numbers negative 12, 5, negative 6, negative 9, 10, and 7. I just have to make sure that I pick 2 numbers that all of the values fall in between. So negative 15 is smaller than all of these numbers. Positive 15 is bigger than all of these numbers. Okay, so now I just have to fill in the rest. So 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. There's 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Just filling in some of these. There's -5 right there. -10. There's 5 there. And there's 10. Okay. So if I start putting these in here, -12 sits right here. 5 is here. -6 is here. -9 is right there. 10 is here. Nope. Since I'm running out of colors, I'll make 7 a thicker line right there, and 7's right here. Okay, so now, as I'm going through these, the greatest is the one that is farthest to the right, okay, and that's this one right here. Okay, so that means my greatest number is 10. My least number is the one farthest to the left, and that's this one right here. So my least is -12. So now we're going to have you do this. Okay, so order the integers from least to greatest. So again, start with a number line. And you're going to have to start with 2 numbers. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. 2 numbers that would, all 4 of these would fall between. So with me, I would say maybe -10 and 10. -9, -8, -7, -6, -5. -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So go ahead and pause the video now, put these 4 numbers on the number line, and then once you have that, you're going to go from least to greatest, so smallest to largest. So you're going to start over here, and you're going to work your way to the right. So pause the video, get this done, then hit play, and see how you did. Okay, so as you can see, I put all my numbers on the number line and going from left to right because it says least to greatest. I would go -6, -1, 0, and then 5. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add sums or find sums of integers on a number line. So now we're going to extend our learning of integers by exploring different strategies for adding them. So we know what an integer is. It's the set of the whole numbers and their opposites. So no fractions, no decimals. So said in another way, integers are positive and negative whole numbers. So for example, imagine a person is standing at the 0 mark and facing the positive numbers. If that person moves 4 units forward or in the positive direction, that person would end up at the point representing 4. That's because 4 is 4 units to the right of 0 on our number line. So to add integers, there are some strategies to help us do that. So the first one we're going to explore involves using the number line. So to model addition of integers on the number line, imagine a person is standing at 0 facing the positive numbers. To represent a positive integer, we're going to move forward. To represent a negative integer, they're going to move backwards. Okay, so we're going to do some examples of that here in a sec. Okay, so we're going to use the number line to find the sum of 4 plus 6. Okay, so we always start at 0. Okay, now the first thing we do is we start at a positive 4. So I need to go to the right 4 because it's a positive. So now I'm here. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add 6. So it's a positive 6. So I'm going to keep moving 6 to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I go right here. This is my end. I would get 10 as an answer. So now I'm going to use a number line to find the sum of -4 and -6. So again, I start at 0. Now, we are given a -4 to start. Negative means I go to the left. I'm going to go to the left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's -4. Then I'm going to add to that a -6. Well, negative still means I'm going left. I'm going to go to the left 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right there. So now here is what I get for the sum of -4 and -6. Now I get a -10. So now we're going to combine positive and negatives by adding. Okay, so we're still going to start at 0 just like always. Okay, and we start out with a positive 4. Positive means we go to the right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. There's positive 4. But now I'm going to add to it a negative 6. Well, negative means I'm going to go to the left. Okay, so I had right 4. And a negative 6 means I'm going to move to the left 6 now. So starting here, I'm going to go left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to end here. This is going to be where I end up. And that's at negative 2. Okay, so now I want you to do these last 3 on your own. Now I've given you the number line, so make sure you write down the addition as well as the number line. Pause the video, work through all 3 of these, and then when you're done, hit play and see how you did. Okay, for our first one, we always start at 0. Our first number is a negative 9, so from 0 we go to the left 9 and we hit this blue line here. And then the second number is a plus a positive 12. Well, we're doing positive 12, so we're going to go back to the right 12, and we're ending up right here at positive 3. Positive 3 is our answer. The second one, we start at 0 again, that red line. Our first number is a negative 9, so negative means we go left, so we go left 9 to this blue line. And then we add to it a positive 3. Positive means we go right, so we go 3 to the right. And then we end up right here at negative 6. Last one, we again start at 0 at our red line. Now our first number is a negative 5, so we go left 5 to the blue line here. Then we're adding to it a negative 8. Negative, go left again, so we're going to go 8 to the left. And then we put our line right there at negative 13.